LMG Committee presents a classical and royal night, Little Mr. and Miss Grenada 2023, taking place on Saturday, May 27th at the Grenada Trade Center. 7 princesses and 5 princes will grace the stage. Starting time 6 p.m. sharp. Tickets adults 30, children 20. Music by DJ Blackstorm. Special guests and parents by local acts and full-time Grenada Groovy Monarch Dash.
Put your glasses up to the sky. If you feel to cry, you could cry. Everybody have the tough time. Sometime all it takes is one line.
Come out and support our future stars. It will be a night of splendor to remember. So get your tickets early at the Grenada Trade Center, Grenadian Optical on Melville Street and in the Spiceland Mall, BG's Restaurant and Bar, Pineapple Marketing and Communication in St. Andrew, and Shi's Bar in Victoria. Or call us on telephone number 425-0624-403-0411 or 416-3881. The night will be fine like wine. So, see you there.
Grenadians and Friends of Grenada, the National Democratic Congress Support Group Canada cordially invites you to a gala event with the Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Saturday, July 1st at Bellevue Manor, 8083 Jane Street in Concord, Ontario, with cocktails from 6 p.m. and dinner at 7:30, featuring live entertainment, delegation speakers, and more. Ticket donation is $250. Proceeds go to the establishment of a party resource center in Grenada. Tickets are limited. The Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Saturday, July 1st at Bellevue Manor, 8083 Jane Street in Concord. For tickets and information, please call 647-859-4142 or 647-242-9256.
In New York City right now, it's a little bit rainy. Showers of blessings. Yes. Hey, so how you doing? I think I saw who did I see first jump in? I saw Lacey J. Lacey J, how you doing? Welcome to the ride. Lydia, yes, I saw Lydia. Early up. How you doing, Lydia? Lacey J. Rena, how you doing? Yeah. Everybody, Neficia Evans, how are you, my dear?
Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, I'm ready to roll.
I'm trying to share the program on some of my other pages. Oh, there it is. All right, guys. Before we start, let me just take this opportunity to big up all of our top fans, all of our supporters, everyone who take the time out of the day. Guys, I never take you guys for granted. I never took you guys for granted. I never will. Thank you guys so much for, being... Hey, Dan, what are you doing? Thank you so much for being a part of this ride. Right? I appreciate you. I gotta say this. I appreciate you guys so much. But you didn't have to be here. You could have been anywhere else, but you decide to be here. And I'm the kind of person I like when we have a variation of opinions. I believe that this world is made up of opinions and ideas. If nobody come out with ideas and opinion, everything is just going to be the same all the time. So I respect opinions. I love opinions, right? I love when people come out and they tell me how they feel, even if it's not something I support. I appreciate that. And I think that's what this platform is built on. Let me share this on one other page. This platform is built on people sharing their story and people having opinions and ideas and all sorts of things. But we must always remember that just how you should have your opinion, just so somebody else should be able to have their opinion. So their opinion and what they're thinking or what's in their head or how they analyze certain things, that's how they feel. They may not think the way how you feel. They may not see things how you see it. That's their opinion. That's their life. That's them, right? And we can't fight anybody. We can't cuss nobody. We can't befriend anybody for speaking their mind and giving their opinion, right? So I just wanted to say this because oftentimes when we have programs where people come out and share and ask questions, we oftentimes see people, they get so upset just because someone expressed the way how they feel. And I don't see why it's necessary, right? I don't see why it's necessary. So I just wanted to say that from the top, okay? That's who we are. We are opinionated people, free to express one's opinion. And that's what I like. That's what I promote. All right? Okay. With that being said, I'm going to go right in because I know it's kind of going to be a lengthy program a bit because it's a different kind of program. All right? Over the past years, I can't count how many times we heard this same story. We heard it so many times where domestic abuse, where one partner beat up on the next partner, and we know how this story does go. This one is a little bit different. The gentleman today is coming to share his story, and yes, I said gentleman. It's domestic abuse involving a young man who is the abusee. He's a victim of this abuse. And oftentimes when we hear it, we say, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean he get abused? He like it. Some people might go as far as to say, well, he probably the one that was abusing. I want you guys to listen to this young man's story. His name is Tommy. And Tommy would share his story, how he has been physically and mentally abused for years. And as we always say, well, why are you getting abused? Why don't you just leave? Get out of the relationship. Go. It's never that easy. I won't share Tommy's story. I'll allow Tommy to share his own story, guys. So help me welcome, nice ride along welcome to my next guest. His name is Tommy. And Tommy is all the way in Texas. Tommy, how you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good, Tommy. I know my producer, Lois JJ, who is the hardest working person on this team. She have been talking with you for the past couple of days, trying to set up a date, and finally today is the day. And I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us because I think it's very, very important that your story be heard.
I appreciate that, Junior. I appreciate y'all having me on. I appreciate Lois and everything because, yeah, you're right. This does need to be heard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, before we go on, Tommy, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Tommy?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much a laid back dude. Honestly, I'm 40 years old, two-time domestic violence survivor, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Went to two historically black colleges and universities, very educated, I collect hats, I collect classic sneakers, know, I love to dance. I love to watch movies. You know, I'm just an all around outgoing dude. You know, that's pretty much just me. You know, I love life. I love to celebrate.
Right, right, right. Nice, nice, nice. No, the the story that you're about to share again is not. We don't hear it a lot, although it's happened a lot. We don't hear it a lot
Right.
because for some reason men don't come out and speak about this because either they get teased, they get laughed at, they get thrown out. Yeah, go and deal with your situation. You're a man. Um,
Mhm.
but this one is different. So I'm really anxious to hear. So how does it start? How did it start for you, Tommy? Tell us the story. You are a man being abused by your girlfriend. What happened? How did that whole relationship situation started?
Well, I left Dallas, you know, to go visit some of my homeboys over in Florida at the homecoming. And one of my friends, his niece was over there, and I was kind of, you know, feeling her, you know, wanted to date her, but you know, I just left it alone, left it at that. And you know, she kind of, you know, was feeling me a little bit too, but you know, we just, you know, we just said hi and bye type thing.
Right.
But you know, she ended up flying back up to Seattle, Tacoma, and you know, I had her contact information, so I contacted her, reached out, you know, and like I said, we was feeling each other, so we was talking on the phone, you know, that whole honeymoon phase, you know, talking about visiting Seattle, talking about visiting Dallas, you know, so next thing you know, I ended up, you know, having her come visit in Dallas first, you know, so she came down, went to my church, met my mom, met some of my church friends, some of my relatives, you know, stayed over at the house, met my dad, all that good stuff. So, you know, it was all good. It was all love, you know. And then probably a couple of months later, you know, I started going up to visit her in Seattle. So we were kind of doing a long distance thing back and forth. We send gifts like once a month. The beginning of the month, we send each other a present, you know. So then, you know, she was talking about like me coming up like permanently, you know. So I ended up going up there, but then, you know, the people that I knew from homecoming that were her family, you know, they kind of dismissed that. They didn't want me to come up there. They didn't want me to date her. They didn't want her dating me type thing. So it became an issue and it became beef. So, you know, people were calling me and threatening me and, you know, telling me I shouldn't be up there and this, that, and the other. And, you know, everyone had their 2 cents to put in, you know, and she kind of allowed it, you know, and I was just like, you need to, you know, deal with your people, your kin folks, deal with your church family, because, you know, they're coming out very disrespectful. So next thing I know, I go up there and visit, you know, and get into it with the people in the church. You know, they kind of question my morals and my beliefs and, you know, who I was. It was mainly the pastor. You know, he like took us back in the church and, you know, just pretty much head at it, just judgmental, just said what he felt like he wanted to say. You know, he tried to provoke me. You know, he tried to down my character. You know, he tried to get me to come out of my character and say things that would make a dude react. And I didn't give him that, you know, I didn't give him that satisfaction, but he did, you know, get me angry. So I just end up from there, you know, I end up holding a grudge. I didn't want to have nothing to do with him, any other people in the church. So, you know, she cried about it and stuff because she was close with it. That's her church family and all that stuff. But I couldn't let it go. So
Right.
every time she wanted to be around them, I didn't want to be around them. And when we were around, I'm not going to shake and fake with you. I'm not going to come in your church or I'm not going to come to your event and then you expecting to shake hands with me or hug me after you done called me everything under the sun, telling me I'm not a Christian, I'm not a believer, I'm a fornicator, you know, just calling me all these names and telling me I'm a man of little character, all this sort of stuff. So
But Tommy, hold on 1 second. So why did they come across you like that? Why were they calling you names and trying to beef
what
with you if they don't know nothing about you?
exactly, bro. I mean, they were looking at they kept telling me that she was the princess and she's a good girl and she's a great woman. You know, don't mess things up or I come get you. You know, those types of things. And I'm just like, you don't
Oh,
know anything about me. You know, you never even met me. You know, so it was more of them feeling like I was deflowered. I was immoral and I was gonna lead her down the wrong path. But little did they specify is that she had already been led that way. You know, they didn't want to talk about the things that had went on in the shadows, in the dark, that nobody wanted to bring up. And I didn't find out till I got to Seattle. You know, at first it was my fault, but there were things that were underlined, you know, that they should have addressed before me. You know, so it's like, you know, you telling me that I'm a herder and do all this stuff. But then she's telling me about rapes, about molestations, about family members hurting her. And it's a secret, you know, and nobody protected her from that. But when I come up there, all of a sudden I'm the bad guy and I haven't even done nothing. I just got up there.
Oh,
You
so
know,
he was protecting her,
yeah,
not when the trauma that she went through, but they demonizing you because they think that they're protecting a little angel. She was the angel of the flock.
she was the angel. And I was just some dude coming from Dallas that didn't have money like they thought I should have, didn't have the career. I'd already had a daughter, stuff like that. You know, they thought I was just the worst of the worst, and they knew me before I knew her.
Right. But when you met her, right? When you met her, the first couple days speaking with her and, you know, that courting period, that honeymoon period, did
Right.
it strike you kind of weird, like something that she did that kind of like threw you off a bit? Like, this girl is kind of going to be potentially crazy. Anything?
Not really. The only thing that she said that offended me in the beginning was because I do have a daughter and she's mixed with white and black. And she said, "Oh, you got a mixed baby. I don't date dudes that like to talk to white girls," type thing. And I was like, hold on, you know, I date whoever I want to. You know, it's not about the color of the skin to me. You know, it's about who knows how to treat you right. You know, it's about someone being smart, you know, and having potential. It doesn't have anything to do with race when it comes to me. So that was a red flag to me. That definitely did offend me in the beginning.
Right. Okay. But besides that, she was not pulling knives. Well, not even in pulling knives to do anything like play fight and want to hold you in a choke hold. Nothing like that. Nothing like that as yet, right?
Nothing like that yet. Not until I got up there.
Right, and we're gonna hear about how when you got up there. So guys, if you're watching, I want you guys to share the story because I'm telling you, we hear this story so much time, but it's in reverse. We hear so many times about men abusing women. But what about when women abuse men? It goes underreported. Sometimes it does not get reported whatsoever, right?
Right.
So this is a story that we need to listen to because there are tremendous amount of men I know that are being abused, that was abused, and sometimes even if they call, they go to the police station, the police would laugh at them. We're gonna get to all of that stuff. So Tommy, courting period, they're protecting her, they're thinking she's an angel. She telling you about rape and all these things that she went through in her life.
Mm-hmm.
You guys started the courting process of the relationship. You moved to Seattle. Someone said you probably moved there too quick. Go back from there.
Yeah, so I end up moving up there, you know, getting a little gig up there, you know, a little job, you know, try to help out. And honestly, the only reason I stayed in Seattle is because she tried to take on life while I was there. Because of me and her pastor and the family members getting into it. I guess that was too much, too overwhelming for her. So she tried to take on life, so I ended up staying because I was gonna leave. But I felt like, you know, as someone that was with her, I could save her. I could help her. You know, I felt like that was my duty. That was my responsibility to take care of her because she had already been hurt and let down, and I couldn't let that happen. And plus, I felt like I couldn't fail.
Right.
You know, so everyone was saying, you know, all of them were saying how bad I was and that it wasn't going to work and that it's going to be tested. And I didn't want to give them the right to say they right. You know, I'm saying I'm working hard for this. I'm putting my all in it. I left Texas behind to move to Washington, a whole state I've never been in, never lived in, you know, and now all of a sudden, you know, I'm being torn down for it.
Right.
So, you know, we end up, you know, staying there, moving in together. I got all my stuff up there, you know, got a couple of jobs, things like that. And then I started to notice, you know, because I keep in touch with a lot of people. I'm a networker. So I wasn't calling people as much. I wasn't writing letters. I wasn't sending postcards. I wasn't answering phone calls. You know,
Right.
it was like I was completely being cut off from my family and my friends. And I didn't, you know, recognize it as that, you know, but I did notice kind of a little streak of when someone called me, she'd get a little upset. You know, she was always like, put your phone down, or this is our time or my time, or, you know, something like that. So I'm like, you know, she kind of, you know, kind of needy. You know, at first she told me she wasn't needy and she didn't really want me to be around her because she wasn't used to having people around her like that. But then all of a sudden, it's like, you want all my time, you know? So, you know, I mentioned something to her about when, you know, I was trying to dress nice, look appropriate, trying to, you know, you get the girl, you trying to keep her, you know, you jazzed up, you trying to look nice. And I made mention of it. And, you know, she was like, I like it, but it's not all that or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so what do you like?
Right.
You know, so, you know, she telling me what she like people to wear and things of that sort. So she started buying me totally different kind of clothes and colors that I usually don't wear, you know, just trying to build my wardrobe the way she liked it pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, kind of trying to change that. So then I see her brother came to the house and he had on the same type of outfit to kind of wear that I like to get down in, the kind of stuff I like to rep. And she was all like, oh, he looks so good and he's so fine and that's my brother and I date him and he's so cute. And, you know, I'm like, wow, I wore that same thing yesterday and you just said I wasn't all that. So next thing I know, she says, she pops off, she gets angry, she's growling, she's going, she said, so you telling me that I slept with my brother? And she, boom, she come across the right hook. My face turned, I check my chin, I check my lip, check my nose. I'm like, man, she split off, she hit me good, you know? And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, did she just hit me? I was like, that's a mean hook. And then she said she getting angry again. And she swings with the left. Boom. I said, man, she done hit me again. So I'm thinking, I done moved all the way to Seattle, Washington. Don't have no family, no friends. Her whole family's up there. They gonna side with her. I can't call the police because I'm black. You know, I'm a dude. They not gonna believe me. Her family's not gonna believe me because they already on her side. They think she's an angel. You know, so there's no shelter for men. I can't go back and tell my family and stuff because then they gonna get upset.
yeah.
And then people gonna say that I failed and that I shouldn't have went up there. You know, which probably I shouldn't have. But it's a lesson in life. You know, so you know, next thing I know, like I'm saying, for months and months, you know, it was similar scenarios. You know, I went to work hiding scars and scratches on my arm. You know, I was bleeding. You know, like I said, people stopped calling me because I wasn't answering. People didn't even know where I was anymore. Like I said, I stopped just communicating altogether. I ended up getting this new job at the airline, and they even started to notice, you know, that she was a narcissist and that she was controlling and she was mean. They was always like, she don't really speak to us. She looks at us crazy. She's always mean mugging. She's too controlling. They, you know, they should say all this stuff at the airport. And then, like, I'm in the middle of conversations with my coworkers, and as soon as she come up on the floor, everybody was scattered like roaches, just leave me there talking. So I knew she was there behind me, investigating or checking up on me, you know. And it just got to that point, you know, looking at people's name tags I work with, listening to people's conversation on the employee bus and in the elevators at the airport, you know, trying to see what they were saying about me at work. Every time I came home, I get that, we need to talk. And I'm thinking, what did I do now? You know, I've been at the airport all day, pushing flights out, dealing with angry passengers, dealing with my coworkers, dealing with all sorts of things you can't even imagine at the airport. And now I got to come home and you want to fuss at me because you heard a girl in the elevator say, I hope Tommy's wife is treating him good because he's a good man.
So
I ain't telling him to say it.
all he was doing is being a good guy.
Bruh, I went up to see her. I did the same thing I do here in Texas. I open the door, I let people have my seat. You know, I'm from the South. Southern hospitality, be a gentleman, be about that. You know, go outside with one. Don't let her walk on the outside of the curb. Take your hat off when you get in all that stuff. So I'm showing that, but people in Seattle looking at that like that's flirting. And I'm like, no, that's respect. That's being a gentleman. You do that sort of thing. You give a woman your seat. You know, you open the door for a woman, her car door, or whether it's the door to the building. You do that. You know, and she thinking that's flirting, they thinking that's flirting. But then they find out that I'm from the South. That's just how I am. So they saying stuff in the airport about me and on the employee bus about me, and they love my swag and my accent and the way I am. And she thinking I'm telling them. I'm not telling them that I can't control what people say about me. Just like no one on this broadcast can control what someone says about them.
Yeah, but that if that don't give her any right to punch you in the face, to abuse you, to slap you, to thump you, to kick you, to cuff you. That don't give her no right to do. That don't give nobody right to do that.
Bruh, she said I just talk too much. She said I wouldn't shut up. When she fussing at me and she want to talk, I gotta shut up and listen. But I come from a different background, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna shut up like that. You know, you're not gonna talk to me like that. You know, you need to check yourself. You need to sit back and breathe and catch on the reality here. But you know, she was too insecure because everybody there knew who I was at the airport. Before that, it was just her and her family. But when I got to the airport, it opened up a whole nother door. Everybody knew who I was. Everybody knew they could text me, they could call me. I could get stuff done at the airport. I could figure out stuff with flights. I could network and get you on to something. You know, I was that network. I'm that person who you come to when you need something, and I know somebody who can get it done for you in the airport. You know, legal stuff. You know, I'm trying to make sure that if I take care of somebody, you know, if I know this person, I feel like I should be able to get this person to help that person down the way, help that person down the way, help that person along the way. I'm trying to network and link everybody together so we can all, you know, focus and work things out on the same level. You know, so I'm that networker. So she didn't like that. Your phone's always going off. You know, you're always texting. Your social media is buzzing. You know, and it's like, man, my social media is buzzing now. It always has been since I got on it. You know, but it's like you're not letting me be who I am as an individual because I'm an outgoing person. Like I told y'all at the beginning, I like to dance. I like to, you know, play the drums. I play music. I'm in the Tupac. I'm outgoing. You know, when I go out, I'm gonna start the party. I'm gonna dance all night. You know, and that's just what I do. But
Tommy, let me ask you this question: Do you think that along the way she just felt like you was being too nice and she was just taking advantage of you? Because just imagine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how tall you are, I don't know how big you are, I don't know how muscular, I don't know anything about that. But if it was a dude 7 foot, or a real muscular dude that she was with, you think that she would punch and thump and attack him like that?
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So why did she beat on you? Why do you think that she beat on you? Because you was not retaliating, you were not doing anything, you were just taking it. What happened? Why she would?
I feel like she was doing it because she knew I wasn't gonna hit her back, because I don't hit women. You know, I would take the punches, the licks, the scratches, the bites. Only thing I could do was hold her. You know, but she just knew that I wasn't gonna do anything back to her. You know, I give her the last of my paycheck, and then I wasn't even making that much when I was cooking. I give her my whole paycheck. You know, I make sure the bills was paid.
But if she's not treating you right? If she's not treating you right, she's not doing the right thing. Why you acting yourself like that to her? Does she even deserve someone like you?
Man, I felt like she needed saving, man. If the guys was out here doing that to her and molesting her and raping her and, you know, the stuff she had to deal with and that she was hurt behind, you know, I felt like I could save her. I felt like I could protect her. You know, I felt like she just needed to be showed love that she hadn't been shown before. But
Right.
I guess she didn't know how to take that, you know, and then it made me, you know, feel inadequate and insignificant. And then I was unattracted to her. And, you know, all these things were going on in my head because it's like, I'm not trying to lose. I'm not trying to, you know, be the one to say, man, I got to go home because, yeah, I failed, Eddie. Y'all was right. You know, all these I told you so's and stuff. You know, I wasn't trying to hear all that, you know, and plus, you know, when I did get the decent job, you know, I was doing my thing. I had more in Seattle than I ever had before in Dallas. You know, we had 3 cars, we had 2-story, we had garage, you know, all the things I never had, man. I'm from the hood in Dallas, you know. I lived in the project. I do Section 8 food stamps, you know. We lived in the worst of the worst neighborhoods in Dallas, you know, so that's what I know. And then I get to Seattle and it's like they live in the lap of luxury. They Black and they live in the lap of luxury, you know, and then her family got Hummers and Benzes and Mercedes and Cadillacs and houses and living in where the Seattle Seahawks stay at. You know, I'm like, man, you know, y'all doing it up here.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man, it was such a shock, a culture shock.
Right. What was some of her triggers? Does she drink? Does she?
No.
So what gets her there? What gets her from being a nice woman that you in bed with and love and spend all this time with to a monster? What gets her there?
Other women. She didn't like other women giving me attention. She didn't like me. Like one time we were at Walmart and I seen this lady, man, and I said, man, she got long hair. And that's all I said, Junior. She was pissed. You know, I'm just look. It was an island girl, like a Polynesian, probably Samoan or Hawaiian or something. Her long down her back. I said, man, she got some long hair.
Wow.
Well, I didn't hear the end of that. I shouldn't have said that. Just that the hair was long. I wasn't even looking at the rest of the woman. Just her hair was long. And I got dealt with for that. And then, you know, like I said, you know, you pushing me out there to get around people, but your trigger is every time my phone goes off, every time my sister calls me, every time an old classmate calls me, a college buddy calls, you mad about it. So you don't like my phone. Then you checking my phone, then you going through my phone and you don't find nothing. So then you say, I'm like this because of you. You know, she said, I got diabetes because of you. You stress me out. I can't give you no diabetes. How I give you diabetes? Your diet gave you diabetes. The way you are gave you that. I didn't give you that. You know, so it's like all these things. It was always what I was doing or what I wasn't doing. So you want to say, oh, well, this girl texts you. Who is that? What does she want? She asking me, can she get on the flight tomorrow? And I'm looking at it. So I'm texting somebody at work, asking them to look at it when I'm off. That's what I'm doing. That's what we talking about.
Right.
Why is she sending you a picture? Girl sent me a picture of her and Snoop Dogg at the airport. Who's the girl? You didn't see Snoop Doggy Dogg? You worry about who the girl is? That's Snoop Dogg at the airport. That's why she's sending me the picture.
Right. Well, let's have this conversation man to man. Let's have a sidebar.
Okay.
Because, you know, as men, you know, we do shit.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we do shit.
Mm-hmm.
You cheated on her? Were you actually really with someone else that you didn't want her to know?
No, bruh. I'm gonna tell you like this. So I was with her from 2006 to 2010. She was hitting on me 2006, 2007. The first girl to turn my head was in January 2008.
Okay.
So she said she hit me because I was cheating. 2006, 2007, I was as faithful as a bird. I was the most faithful dude up there. And you still was hitting on me. But then when I do start messing with somebody because they telling me that I'm a good man and
Right.
look at what I got and look at what I can do, not making me feel inadequate, not making me feel weak, then yeah, of course you're gonna turn my head because now you got my attention because the person at home definitely is not telling me that.
Right, right. No, I understand. I understand. The reason why I ask that, and listen, it's quite obvious from what you telling us, what you telling me here right now, that this girl didn't even understand what she had, the kind of real man that she had in you.
Right.
She didn't quite understand. If you're faithful to her, you provide, you probably, Tommy, I think you did too much. I think she didn't deserve half of what you was given to her.
Right.
She did not deserve you. She's not used to this type of loving. You was too nice. You was too genuine. And yes, there is something like too nice and too genuine. She don't deserve that. Right? So the question is, and someone just put it in the chat there, why did you stay after you feeling inadequate with this person beating on you, this person thumping on you, this person they don't express the love, they don't express nothing, you don't feel wanted. Why you stayed?
Bro, honestly, you know, there's so many reasons. You know, you stay because you think you can help, you love that person, love is blind, you know, sex, you know, it's the same thing. Like I was telling you earlier, with men and women, it's the same thing. We
Right.
feel the same way when it comes to abuse. You know, men are just told to hide it and not show it and to, you know, man up and don't be a punk and all this other stuff. But you can't cry, all this stuff society says. But the problem is that, you know, you can't be who you are. You can't, as a man, you know, you can't be who you are, who you want to be, you know, in society. You know, you have to live up to this facade, you know, and like I say, it's so many things that keep you staying there, you know, having a child with this person, you know, the financial abuse aspect of it, the mental abuse, the psychological abuse. So it's like you thinking all these things, and you can feel yourself. You go on the outside of yourself, looking at yourself, and you're like, and I wouldn't usually put up with this. I never put up with this before. But like I said, when you thinking about love and helping somebody and taking care of things and being the right kind of man and all this stuff, and you just certain stuff you just don't want to lose. You know,
Yeah.
it's a fear factor.
But you helping her and you doing all this stuff, giving her your paycheck, giving her all the money. But who's helping you? Who's looking out for you? Who's filling your cup up? You know what I mean? She's just taking from you. She's just taking and taking and taking and taking. And Cheryl Charles is saying, yeah, we should get the other side of the story. And I agree, we should get the other side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody, I don't care, even if you're in a relationship, man or woman, and the other party is beating up on you, thumping on you, fighting with you, punching you, that's abusive. No one should endure that. Even if the relationship is to a point where you feel like I'm cheating on you, and you feel like that's where it's at, listen, let's try to part our ways. You ain't gonna punch me in my face. You ain't gonna pull a knife. I mean, I'm not gonna stay and allow you to take advantage of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether man or woman, did you ever hit her back at any point? Have you ever turned and hit her back? Not at all.
I just had to hold her, had to restrain her. Yeah, that's all I could do, because if I put my hands on her, I'm gonna be under the jail.
And she knew that, Tommy. She knew that you will not hit her back because you have fear of going to jail, or you have fear of the police. You just have that fear. And let me tell you something, she would have beat you. If you guys were together 10 years later, she would have beat you all the way up, because she know that you would not do anything. You wouldn't hit her back and you wouldn't call the police.
Yeah.
She's analyzed you. Tell us about the financial abuse. How was that? How you said that she was financially abusing you? What was that? But she was holding money from you?
No, you know, when you paying for things, if you giving somebody your whole check, you can't just leave. You know, and the cost of living up in Seattle is not cheap. It's very expensive to live up there. You know, I'm from Texas. It's cheaper down here, cost of living. So if I'm giving you all the money that I have, what nest egg do I have? You know, where can I lay my head at night if I don't have the funds to pay for this all by myself? You know, that's just not feasible. So if you're taking all my money, you okay with that, and you okay with living above your means, and you asking me where I'm spending my money, you know, it's like I'm sitting here, you know, helping my sister out as well, and you telling me I can't help out my sister, but when your family calls, we can help them all out. You know, they can get everything they want. But when I help my sister get groceries, you got a problem with it. So that's where the financial abuse comes in.
Did she talk to you about disassociating yourself from your family?
Nah, she just didn't want me to answer the phone. If the phone rang, she take it or she turn it over, or yeah, she just didn't want me on it. She let me know that she wanted me to get off of it.
Wow. Was she the type that withhold sex from you as well?
No, she wasn't that type. I actually didn't want to sleep with her because I felt like she was a monster.
Right.
You know, I felt like inadequate being around her.
Yeah. So what was the ultimate goal of that relationship then? What was you aspiring to do? Were you looking to marry her, have kids with her? What's your plan? What was your plans?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do all that. I was gonna marry her and have kids and everything, and I did marry her, but it didn't last long because that was the last straw for me, you know. And you know, I did have a daughter with her, and I don't get to see my daughter, but everything is taken from me, you know, as far as financial wise, and I still don't get to see my daughter. So yeah, my ultimate goal was to be married, was to have the child, to do everything right, you know, live the way I was taught, you know, just be that man that I always wanted to be that family man, be that man that's successful and is able to have his family and not be rich or wealthy or nothing, but just to, you know, be able to provide, be the man you're supposed to be.
Right. I'm seeing women in the chat room and they
Mhm.
hear your story, Tommy, and they be like, "What? This guy?" Women right now trying to get a guy like you. Women right now trying to get someone who you know is genuine and who could, you know, a supporter, someone that they feel like they could trust. And here you have this woman. She has this man, and she don't even see it. Based on your story, because she might say something completely different, but based on your story, you are doing all the right things, but she can't even see it. She don't even respect the fact that she have such a good man, and she don't look at it. She want to keep it. A lot of women right there are looking for a man just like you, right? But let me go back to this, Tommy. After
Mhm.
you've been through the relationship with her and the relationship was rocky, and you see that she was like, you know, she's that kind of person who have inclination
Right.
to always beat and push and tug and punch. Why
Mhm.
you married her then? Why you thought that she would change if you marry her and have kids? Like, didn't you see that as a big red flag?
Yeah, you know, I was living with her. So, you know, down here in the South, you know, I'm in the Bible Belt. I grew up in the church, you know, and my beliefs were a big issue. You know, I was, you know, taught that it's better to marry than to burn. You know, people against fornicating and adultery, and you know, like the old heads called shacking up, and you know that sort of thing. So I felt like I had to make an honest woman out of her, you know, because I was up there and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to go anywhere soon, you know. And then, like I said, my daughter came into play, and I had to be around my daughter. I wanted to be in my daughter's life, and I knew that if I didn't stay around, that she'd take my daughter from me.
Right.
And that's called parental alienation, which a lot of men and women are dealing with every day, where you have a spouse or a mate that you done pissed off pretty much, and they don't let you see your kids. They get into the courts, and the courts make it to where you can't even see your kids. I haven't seen my daughter since she was 5, and she's 14 now.
What?
You know, and the courts are okay with that. You know, they allow it. You know, they take child support. They took it from my unemployment check. They took it when I was working. They took I haven't seen a income tax check since 2012. They were taking my stimulus checks, and then to catch me up because I was behind on my child support because I was unemployed, they took my entire car accident settlement that I got. So now I'm up to par, but they've been taking that this whole time, and I haven't been able to see my daughter.
No, that part is disappointing, eh? That part is disappointing that men go through this all the time and women only take note because this is the headache and the tragedy that men go through.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and I'm not saying all women do it, but a lot of times you have a separation. Say for whatever reason, the husband and the wife divorce, or the boyfriend and the girlfriend break up, and you guys not together no more. The kids end up paying for it, or the one parent might put some stuff in the head about the father, or just separate. But the child is innocent. Why not still have some way that the father could be a part of the child life and the mother could be a part of the child life? Co-parenting is beneficial for the child. You don't have to demonize the child against the father, or the father demonize the child against the mother. The child at the end of the day is innocent. So that's the messed up part. That's the messed up part of it. While you paying all this child support, you can't even see your damn child. And the court, however, somehow loves stuff like that.
They do.
Love stuff like that.
They do. You know, I mean, I see it all the time. I have a friend that was dealing with a similar situation in Seattle, and he actually killed himself last August, because he wasn't able to see his daughter. So, you know, that's why I promote, you know, talking about domestic violence with men as well as parental alienation, because it's happening all the time and nobody wants to talk about it. You know, the men are too afraid to talk about it because of what women might say or what they boys might say. You know, everyone has something to say, but you never really know what you would do until you were in that situation. I never thought I'd be a 2-time survivor of domestic violence. I never thought that I would put my heart out there for 2 women in 2 different states and they both try to abuse me. You know, I never thought that would happen. You know, I always said too, why didn't they just leave? Or I wish somebody would. But when you're in that situation and when you think you in love, you know, when you're trying to care for somebody, when you got things at stake, you never know what you're going to do. So people should stop talking about what they would and wouldn't do.
Yeah. I want to open up the phone lines to anyone that wants to call in. We're also live on 107.9 J1 FM in Brooklyn, New York. So if you guys want to call in, the number that you called in is 718-701-5720. Men, women, I want you guys to call in. And let's talk about this, because this is a pandemic that has been happening as well, that don't even get featured at all, because a lot of times this happens and it's not even reported. People don't even know about it. People don't even talk about it. Men are too ashamed to speak about it. Men get criticized for reporting it. And then when men take it in their own hand and say, okay, well, they defend themselves, the men, when the police come, they lock up the man first. They say that have more privilege than a man. They will lock up the man first without even hearing half of the story. So I want you guys to call in 718-701-5720. I know, I'm aware of the audio problem on the radio, but J1 fixed the audio. So I want you guys to call in again, 718-701-5720. Here's a man pouring out his heart about somebody he was with that abused him. And you said something else. You are a two-time survivor, so there was another woman that did the same thing to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was my second incident was in 2015 here in Dallas, Texas, working at the airport. Got involved with a young lady, and she did everything opposite of what I told. I told her what I've been through, you know, what my life is like, what it looks like, and she made the beginning of the honeymoon phase as well, you know, and then in the end, she started doing the same thing, flipping out on me, you know, and she took advantage, you know, narcissists, they know how to take advantage of the point of seeing what you going through. You know, I was down here trying to help my sister and my nephews out. You know, I was trying to get them a place to stay. So I had them staying in hotels, you know, going to work at the airport all day, coming home to the hotels. And she's like, oh, you can stay with us. She had kids. I got close to her kids. You know, I always get close to the family and kids because I don't really have that kind of network with my family. So I was close with them, you know, taking care of stuff in that house as well. You know, making sure that the groceries were in there, making sure there's gas in the car, making sure everybody's safe, that sort of thing. I just see his comment. She says you feel the pain in my voice. It's a lot of pain. I try to hide it, you know, but yeah, you know, they can sniff it out. You know, those narcissists, they be out there smelling for the blood. But yeah, I mean, I tried to think I was doing everything, you know, providing, you know, trying to make sure my sister and my nephews were straight, trying to make sure her and her kids were straight, you know, end up getting close with the kids, getting close with the parents, you know, just everybody. And it's like, she flipped out on me too. You know, her relationship was on the rocks. Mine was on the rocks. So we confided in each other. You know, you always find a friend when you're going through similar things, you know, and then next thing I know, my bags are getting cut. You know, I'm getting put out at midnight. You know, I went back and forth from the hotel to her house to my mom's house so many times, and I'm doing this, dragging my sister and my nephews around, you know, and it got to be too much. I just, you know, luckily, thank God I didn't stay in there as long as I did with my marriage from 2006 to 2010. Luckily, this was only 2015.
Right.
So, you know, that whole summer was hell. You know, I took some bad verbal and physical abuse that summer. And like I was telling you earlier, you know, that the last straw for me was in October of 2015. You know, going to pick up from work.
Yeah.
I'd been in a car accident, but I was going to pick up from work, so I wasn't working there anymore. And something told me not to go pick up because she's gonna be in a bad mood.
Well, I want you to share. I want you to share that story. I know you told me that story when you was driving. Well, I want you to talk to me about that a little bit. Hold on, right, real quick. Let me update everyone what's happening here. We're talking to Tommy, guys. We're talking to Tommy, and Tommy is a victim, a two-time survivor of domestic abuse. It's no laughing matter, guys. This is serious stuff. A lot of men who go through this end up. A lot of men, a few friends that I know, it's so bad that they end up committing suicide or do something real bad with themselves. So this is no laughing matter. This is no joke. Let's go to the phone lines right now. We have a caller on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
From Canada.
Go ahead, Canada.
Yes. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I feel your pain. As a mother, I have two sons, and I would never like that to happen to them in the wildest dream, which I know that can't happen because the nature of the beast they are. Okay?
Okay.
So I tell you, don't feel less of a man. You are a real man. Real men don't hit women. Cowards hit women. Anytime men have strength on women, not on other men, right? And women, vice versa. Women have strength on men. Because when two women are about to fight, they fight like bulls, Okay, they try to kill. So a woman does not attack a woman like that. They would attack a man because they know the man would hit them. So let me tell you, you are a rich man, you are a brave man. It's to you, let me tell you, I'm inviting you to go to Grenada. You ever hear about Grenada?
Yes.
In the Caribbean?
Yes.
Say again?
Yeah,
There
I
are
heard about
lots of good women down there waiting on you. Just take a trip to Grenada. You will get a good wife. Okay?
Yes.
And keep being sweet. You are a sweet guy. You are a sweet guy. You are one out of a million. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you.
You are a real man. You take care.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you too. You do the same.
Yeah, thank you so much. 718-701-5720. We have Tommy on the line. I saw someone was calling when the other caller was on, so you could just call back. And let's talk to Tommy a bit. I know we spend so much time speaking about domestic abuse when men are abusing women, and it's very bad. We speak out and strongly against any kind of abuse, whether it coming from man towards woman, woman towards man. But it's very rarely we hear men coming out. People laugh at them. People don't take them seriously. I know of a situation where one man went to the police and he reported that abuse, and the police laughed at him and said, "I go back home and take care of your business at home." They don't even want to hear him, right? Tommy didn't take up, take his strength and fight with her because he's probably physically stronger than her and he could have handled her, but he didn't do that because she knew that he would not put his hands on her. She took advantage of the situation. She took advantage of him. And Tommy, I think that Tommy is being too nice. Tommy is too much of a nice guy. And women are sniffing that out. Women are smelling that out and taking advantage of him. Let's jump back to the phone lines. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, go right ahead.
Yeah, Tommy, I listen to your story. I feel your pain, but your daughter will be growing up to be a young lady, and you won't have to go through her mom to visit you. So time will take. At least she's 14. My husband went through the same thing. The mother used to use the kids. Every time he want the kids, he cannot see the kids. But now the kids are at an age that you don't have to go through the mother. You just call the kid and ask them, "Do you want to come by?" So I know your pain. I can feel the pain. I have a son who's 16, and I hope he don't have to go through this kind of situation. But next time you have to be careful, and again, you don't know who you're gonna get involved with. So just be on your P and your Q, and once you start seeing signal, is to get out.
Yeah. Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate
Appreciate you.
Yes. Tommy, how did you get out of that first relationship? What was the breaking point?
That was the first time I called the police. And it got really bad. I took my wedding ring off and I told her I was through. You know, I was done. And I my hand and she got mad, and I was about to go to work. It was like, I was going to the airport and she grabbed my tie and we going back against the wall. She pushing me back against the wall. And you know, she's choking me. She's shaking while she's choking. You know, and I looked in her eyes, I knew she was trying to hurt me. You know, she was trying to kill me. She, you know, fought me up the door. I don't even remember how I got away. Stop don't really mean nothing when they in that kind of rage. They don't even care about no or stop or don't put your hands on me. It didn't matter. So somehow I made it out the front door. I walked down the street. This is in Washington. Walking down the street, 3 a.m. in the morning. A few blocks away, I saw a payphone. Ran in the payphone, didn't know if it was working. Called the cops, you know, and they showed up probably like 10 minutes. I told them what happened. They were taking pictures of me, asking me questions, but I didn't feel safe. You know, I felt like they were judging me. I felt like they just wanted to get it over with. It's 3 a.m., whatever. Guy's getting hit by his wife. Let's just, you know, go take somebody to jail. That's how I felt how they were, you know. And by reading the police reports, they pretty much just put what they wanted to in there anyway. They told me in the state of Washington that someone had to be arrested. And I said, I just want to go home and grab my stuff and fly back home to Dallas. I'm just done with this. So they put me in the back of a police car, scary situation, something I haven't ever been in, don't ever want to do it again. And they told me I had to show them where she was at. So I couldn't call her because she had broke my phone. So we driving up through the apartment complex. I showed them where the car is, where the apartment is. They get out, they knocking at the door. I'm thinking to myself, man, if I could just call her and tell her, don't open up the door. You know, but I couldn't because my phone's broken. They knock a couple of times. She don't answer. As soon as they turn their back, she opens the door, and I see them manhandling her. And I hear her fighting and talking about, no, stop it, no, you know. And she had enough time to call her stepdad, and he comes over. I don't know how he got over so fast, but he comes over, and he's telling them to take both of us to jail, and he wants to hurt me, and he's going to do this to me. So the cops tell me he's angry, get in the house and lock the door. And they telling him to leave before they arrest him. So but beforehand, I had never told anybody at my job what was going on. So I was in danger of getting fired, let go, because I was showing up to work. I was showing up late, you know, just all kind of excuses to why I wasn't at work. You know, so at the airport, that's frowned upon because you got to be there every day. The airport don't sleep. You know, so next thing I know, somebody from the airport must have got wind of it, because I had told them that if I don't show up, that I'm being abused. I said, I'm tired of lying about it. I'm tired of making excuses for why I'm tardy and no call, no show, and all this sort of stuff. So they sent the cops and another agent, and they came and got me, you know, and that's how I ended up getting out of that situation. You know, the airline that I worked for played a big part in that. You know, they made sure I was protected. They made sure not to keep me at the ticket counter. They put me at the gates so she couldn't come up there and harass me. You know, they took her off my flight benefits. You know, they just played a major role. You know, they got me in touch with HR, and I could talk to somebody who had been through something similar. Got me counseling. Tried to help me find a place, but at that point I was so distraught, I just wanted to go home. You know, I was already getting seasonal depression up in Seattle, Tacoma, because it rains all the time. It's cold, it's cloudy. You know, the people are weird. You know, they just not what I'm used to. You know, so I was just ready to leave altogether. So I did end up leaving. You know, I stayed with a couple of friends and worked a few more hours at the airport, but I did ultimately end up leaving, you know, a good job, a great career. So yeah, that's how I got out. It was pretty much the last straw. Each time I left a DV situation, it was due to how extreme it had gotten, and I just was fed up. And if I got to get the police involved, you know, it's pretty much over, because I'm not one to just call the cops. That's frowned upon in the neighborhoods I'm from. You just don't call the cops, you know. But yeah, that's what happened with that pretty much.
Wow. What? That's all I could say, boy. That was an experience, a demonic kind of experience, and nobody should have to go through this, man or woman. Horrible.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, man, you know, the triggers, you know, are still there, some of them, but like I was telling you, you know, you get certain triggers, like there's certain body washes, certain soaps, certain lotions, certain music I can't listen to because I was with her when I had those things, you know. And like I tell you, I'm big on music. I had CD books full of CDs that I would buy. That was kind of my thing, my little spoiling myself type thing. When I get a paycheck, I get me a new CD, and I got rid of all those CDs because I can't even listen to them. Because they remind me of where I was driving in Seattle, or what I was dealing with, or what happened that day, or it's always a reminder of Seattle, Tacoma, and Seattle, Tacoma is a trigger. If I ever go up there and visit, I'm always looking over my shoulder. Thinking about the places I've been and where I was with her, and I get disgusted, I get sick, I feel warm, I don't eat, I don't sleep well. I've gotten over the nightmares. I don't wake up swinging and all that stuff anymore. But like I was telling you too, you deal with stuff like the besides the night terrors, the sleep paralysis. So I'm laying in my bed asleep, and I can't move, and I see dark figures around the bed, and I'm like, am I dreaming or am I awake? And this was stuff that I would see in Washington, and I'm like, what is this? What is these spirits? Is these demons? Is this me reliving seeing her? Because she sit at the edge of the bed at night and watch me sleep. And so I don't know. Like I say, it seems like some form of PTSD. Like I said, but I'm getting better at it. I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
But certain stuff would still trigger me, and I'll have to kind of sit back and take a breather. Like even telling the story would trigger you because you're reliving it each time. You're remembering things that you put in the back of your head that you didn't want to remember no more. But every time I tell my testimony, I remember things that I didn't remember prior to.
Yeah. Did you ever think that she would probably one day try to kill you when you're sleeping?
I did. I thought about it a lot, honestly. But she would always say, "I'm so afraid of you. You might kill me," type thing. I felt like she was always playing the victim. She'd make me feel sorry for her, and I'd be like, "Well, maybe I need to hear her out and see what she's saying." You just manipulate the whole conversation. It was always something.
Yeah. Someone just text me some information there. They say they know of a similar situation in my homeland, Grenada. It's something very similar, and the reason is that she beat him up all the time. They said because of the kids. And they think that the man is somehow like bipolar. He's not cheating, but whenever she have some kind of problems or whatever she's going through, she turn it on him and she beat him up. And it's good for like 3 months, and then it gets hard, it gets bad again, and she continuously beat him up. That's kind of like the same thing that you went through. Very similar. Tommy, I'm happy that you came out and speak about this, because I think that we need to look at abuse differently.
Yeah.
We need to look at abuse differently. It's not only men abusing women. There are a lot of situations that men get abused. And it happens, and it happens, and it is happening. So probably with your testimony here today, more men would come out and speak about it. More men would come out and let their story be heard, and not feel frightened to come and tell a story because they feel people would laugh at them, whatever the case is. The truth and the fact about it is, no one deserves to be abused. No one deserves to be abused. Mentally, physically, psychologically, no one deserves to be abused. And that's the fact. Man, woman, or child. No one deserves to put their hand on anybody. And that's the fact. So I want you to tell us about the last part, and then we'll close off about the accident.
Oh, about the car on the freeway?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my second encounter with domestic violence with a young lady in Dallas. And I was picking her up from the airport, like I said, from work. And I knew she was going to be in a bad mood. So you know, another form of abuse is, you know, just being quiet. You know, she was kind of giving me the cold shoulder, 3rd degree, you know, and then she ends up yelling and fussing and cussing. And I'm driving from the airport, driving through the city, and I get halfway through downtown. I'm on the freeway, you know, doing about 70 miles an hour. And she starts hitting on me.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, what do I do now? Do I pull over? You know, what's going on? She gonna kill us. You know, I'm driving and she's still swinging on me. So I pull over in the middle of this, I don't know what it is, a median or something. It's something on the side freeway because cars are coming up on the freeway this way and cars are on the freeway going this way. So I'm like on the side. And she's hitting on me and she's calling me out my name, calling me a B, you know, saying we ain't friends, you know, saying she hate me and let her go because I'm leaning on her because she's swinging on me, but I'm leaning on her because she won't hit me no more. She starts having an asthma attack because she has asthma and she's a smoker. So she's having an asthma attack. While she's still trying to hit on me, I'm rolling her window down so she can get some air. She had a magazine on the floor in front of her. I picked that up. I'm leaning on her and I'm fanning her while she calling me everything but a child of God. You know, she's really just going in on me. And she got calm. It was hot too. It was hot that night. You know, and I'm trying, like I said, the window's down, I'm fanning her. I'm like, calm down, no, stop it, no, calm down. I probably done said no and stop it about 20 something times. You know, but like I said, when they in that mode, it don't matter. When they see their feelings or what they dealing with or how angry they are, they don't see nothing but red. They gonna keep hitting you, keep on screaming, keep cussing you, keep, you know, defaming your character, whatever they can do to tear you down. It's all game. So I told her, you know, calm down. So she finally calmed down. And I let her up. And she goes at it again. So I had to do the same thing over again.
And she has asthma.
She's having a whole full-on attack. She's having an asthma attack and she's still fighting. So I'm thinking to myself, how do I get out of this situation? Because she got her hand on my hoodie because she's not gonna let me out the car. So I can't run down the freeway. So I'm like, okay, I gotta drive off, but I gotta do it safely. But then I'm like, I have to act like I'm crazy, like I done hit a breakdown, and maybe she'll calm down. So I take off from the median, bro. I'm speeding. I'm doing like 80, 85, and I'm doing the car like this. I'm like, you want to kill us? This is what you're doing. You want to kill us? So I'm rocking the car, and she starts to do like this because she don't have a seatbelt, and she's like, stop, you know, and she's getting scared then. You know, I was like, okay, so she's gonna calm down. So she calmed down. We got a little further into South Dallas, and she gets fired up again. So she started trying to attack me while I'm driving. I made a U-turn because I saw some cops. They pulled over this guy in the neighborhood, and the black dude, they arrested him. So I pull up behind him, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get out and I gotta say something because she's doing too much. I started thinking about her kid at the house and the people that are at the house that I care about that are there. And if she gets, you know, arrested, what's gonna happen to them? And how am I gonna explain this? You know, so she says, I'm gonna calm down, I'm gonna stop. I said, okay. So I get from behind the car, I make another U-turn, go back to the little apartments, you know, drive around. We in the projects. I'm pulling the car around to her place, about to park. She starts going at me again.
Oh, Lord.
So, bruh, the car is still, you know, I put it in park, but I'm halfway into the thing. So I jump out the car and I push the thing and it goes into reverse. So she's in the passenger side, she jumps over and she said, you ain't nothing but a B anyway. You ain't nothing but a B. She closes the door and she puts the car back in drive and, you know, goes into the parking space. So I go in the house, I'm looking for my stuff, you know, trying to figure out what to do next. My phone is off, so I'm trying to use the Wi-Fi to get in touch with somebody, anybody. So she comes in the house and I walk past and I go outside and I just sit out there and I'm you know, taking it. I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying to calm down, trying to figure out what to do next. You know, I can't keep doing this. And she comes out and she's smoking a cigarette. She's smoking a cigarette. She comes over by me. She's touching my chin and she's like, "Oh, baby, you okay?" You know, "Oh, you know," and I'm like, "Don't touch me. Stop. Leave me alone. Don't ever put your hands on me." "No, you don't want me. I'm not your baby." You know, I'm like, "Please stop. Don't touch me." So I stand up and I'm walking away from her and she's following me with this cigarette. So she stands in front of me and she says, "What's wrong? You don't want me no more?" And I see this look in her eyes like she's about to come at me like a linebacker. So my mind's like, okay, Tommy, you're gonna have to defend yourself because she's about to attack you now. So she runs at me full speed, throws the cigarette down, and before I knew it, I had my hands up like this, and she came across, and I did a hip toss, and she came across my hip and flipped over. But then she grabbed me right here, so I fell on top of her. I fell on top of her, and I'm laying on her, and she's like, "You bitch, you F-nick." You know, she's calling me everything that she can call me. "I'm gonna tell the police. I'm gonna call child support, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. And you'll be. We ain't friends. We ain't friends. I hate you." You know, and I was like, "Just stop." I said, "And let me go." I said, "If you let me go, I'll let you up." She said, "Just get off me." I said, "Let go of my hoodie." So she's still holding on like this. I said, "If I let you up, let me go." So she said, "We ain't friends. We ain't friends." So she's still in this rage. You know, I'm trying to talk her down. And I said, "I'm going to let her up." I said, "But if I get up, she got me right here. So she's going to pull me back down and come across with the fist. She going to do something to pull me back down." So all I could think of, bro, I said, I got to do it quick. I got to jump up and run because she's going to come at me. So I let her up and I pull back and she's dragging on her knees and she's still holding me right here, but I'm pulling back like this. And she falls and her wig come off. Then she gets real mad and she called me all kind of MFs and Bs and she gonna get me. So I'm walking through the project. I'm thinking if any of these homeboys see me, they gonna jump me because they gonna think I'm dealing with her, that I'm on beating on her. Or they gonna come laugh and take pictures and video and put it on social media, one or the other. So I'm running through the project. I can hear her behind me telling me she gonna call the police and I'm, you know, a bitch and I ain't nothing and I'm an MF and this, that, and the other. So I make it out the project. I walk like 3 or 4 blocks down the street. I see this washateria open, a laundromat. But the laundromat is locked because it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I knock on the door and they let me in. And I seen a lady with a cell phone. I said, "Ma'am, I know you don't know me." I said, "But I just dealt with some domestic violence." And I said, "I need to use your phone so I can call for help." You know, so she let me use her phone. I called my sister. I called, you know, her dude at that time. And they were like, what you doing? Where you at?" And I was so upset. You know, I just was like, I'm just going to sleep at the bus stop. I'm going to go sleep down at the dart rail at the train station. So I'm like walking blocks. You know, I probably done made about 6, 7 blocks before, you know, my homeboy come and see me walking in the dark and he picks me up. So he takes me to his house.
Tommy, that is a whole cycle that you're dealing with. That is a full cycle. What you just explained that to me, I don't see somebody operating in a normal mind. That is a full, whole entire cycle, Netflix special kind of cycle, kind of movie that you just explained here. It is, Tommy, you are a strong man. I tell you this, you are a strong man. You are a strong man because, boy,
Junior, most of the time I do not feel like it because of what I've been through and because you can't tell everybody what you've been through. I'm on here right now telling all these people that I have no idea who you are. I don't know you. You don't know me. But I'm telling you my story. I might be getting criticized, put down, made fun of, but I don't care. You know, this is real life. You know, yes. I'm not the only one going through it. It's a lot of men going through it. So those comments that y'all are making or putting up there, if it was a woman, would you be doing the same?
That's
You
true.
know, would it be just as funny? You know, I see people all the time posting on social media, putting videos out here of guys getting hit by the girl. But when a guy is hitting the girl, everybody's up in arms. Everybody's attacking the dude. Everybody's calling the police. You know, it's such a stigma with this. You know, if it just imagine if it was y'all's son, you know, your nephew, your brother, your dad, because it's happening to all of them. Me telling my story, I've had so many men come up to me, men y'all couldn't even imagine. People who are my supervisors have said, I've been abused by my ex. I've been there, but they don't want to talk about it because they say, if we say something, we're going to be attacked by the women, or the women are going to feel sorry for us, or, you know, they're going to feel pity for us. And straight up, us men as survivors, we do not want pity or for anybody to feel sorry for us. You know, we just want to get the word out. We want people to know. We want men to come forward, because a lot of men are being abused and they don't even know it. They laughing about it. You know, y'all see it out there. Y'all see girls hitting on dudes all the time, verbally abusing them, smacking them, keying their cars, flattening their tires, busting out their windows. What right does anybody have to do that to somebody? If a man was doing that to a woman, everybody would be up in arms. Nobody can tell me differently. If a man got mad at a woman because she was messing around on him and he bust out her windows, or he put sugar in her tank, or he flattened her tires, then the girls would be like, oh, he a dog, or he wrong for that, or he shouldn't have did that, girl. But if a girl do that to a man, the girls are gonna be oh, girl, yeah, get him, you know, talking all this old crazy nonsense, you know, enabling it, you know, encouraging it, you know. But they don't know that when you're in that situation, it's wrong. That is so wrong on so many levels. You can't say it's okay for a woman to do it in some instance, and then when a man retaliate and do it in the same instance, all of a sudden it's this double standard. It's this bias. It's wrong either way. You know, us men, we hurt the same way y'all young ladies hurt. I'm not trying to take any accountability or credibility away from any other survivor sisters, queens out here. I'm standing alongside y'all. I'm telling my testimony to help y'all and to help these men out here, you know, because they need to come forward. We don't need to be sitting up here living in fear. This is messing with our mental health, because we told not to cry, don't be a punk, man up. Y'all want this sensitive man. Y'all want this man who can communicate, but at the same time, you don't want to let him communicate because it's too weak. So for us to go tell, for us to say something about it, for us to call the police, then we weak. That's how society says it. You know, so what man is gonna want to come out here and face this ridicule? You know, face this extra drama from people that don't even know who he is or his real story. Because when he gets on her, he's automatically the bad guy. Men tell me every day, Tommy, I'm glad you putting it out there because I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But you keep going. They're encouraging me, and they've been abused. But they're afraid to step out of here because of what people gonna say to them and about them. Now, like I said, I appreciate everyone chiming in and being on here this evening, and you know, the questions and the love and the respect. But I've seen some of the comments that weren't so kosher, and that's your opinion. But at the same time, when people don't understand stuff until it happens to them. I said, imagine if it's your son, your nephew, your dad, your husband, somebody you know that has dealt with this. Are you gonna be saying that same thing? Just think about it that way. If it was happening to you, what would you say then? If it hit home different, if it hit different in your household, what are you gonna say then? How are you gonna react then? You know, I don't want any praise. I don't want any of that. I just want one guy. If I just help one guy get out of what he's in tonight, one woman get out of what she's in tonight, let her know there is hope. I've been abused twice in 2 different cities. 2 different states by 2 different women. If I can get out alive, then they can get out alive. Y'all got to start listening to people. We got to start supporting each other. You got to start supporting men and women alike.
Yes. Tommy, I'm sorry. I'm really honestly sorry that you have to go through this, and not only go through this years ago or so, but you're going through it now because you're being ridiculed even now, even on this very said program right here. I see the comments as well. People being very insensitive about what you are here bleeding out your heart to tell us. People are being insensitive, and I'm sorry that you even have to see some of these comments that is going up. I can't stop them. They're just going to be comments. People would always comment. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry you have to go through. I understand how you feel. I truly understand how you feel. More need to be done. More conversation like this need to be had. Need to understand that we feel the same way. And it's a lot of ways it's harder for men because we are told that we shouldn't cry. We have to open up, you know. We shouldn't express our emotions. Hence the reason why so much brothers are committing suicide. So brothers are jumping off bridges, taking their lives. So much brothers resort to going out on the street and taking other people's life because they reach to a point where they just don't freaking care about life. They don't care. They don't care anymore. We are psychological. We have the same brain. We think, we feel, we feel pain just like anybody else. Just like anybody else. Something I tell you, it's worse for men. It is bad for men because we cannot. A lot of times we don't outlet that. We don't express that, and it's probably bad that we don't because we put all of that in. We submerge all of this stuff, and it kills us inside. We can't even talk to our friends about it. We can't even talk to our friends about it because our friends will look at us sideways. We can't go to the police. We can't go to a counselor because they would look at us sideways. So how do you deal with situations like these? And I'm happy that you chose to come and talk about it. So this opened up a whole floodgate of men to come out and say, you know what? This happened to me too. This happened to me. This happened to me too. So I appreciate you, Tommy. And we're gonna keep in touch. We're gonna definitely keep in touch. And we appreciate you, Tommy. And take care of yourself. I got your numbers. We will do an update with you, my brother. Any last word you want to say before we wrap up?
I just want everyone to know if they know someone who is being abused, or if someone on here is being abused, there is a way out. You know, I want people to know what you can do for a person who's being abused. When they telling you, believe them, because you might be their only lifeline. You know, you might be the only one that they tell it to because they've been afraid to, like myself, that whole time. You know, fear is paralyzing. So, you know, you can tell them all day, hey, get out. I wouldn't do it. You know, what you would do or try to force them out. But the truth is, when it comes to someone being abused, they're not going to leave until they're ready, until they get the strength, until that fear is off of them, until that fear is too much to where they do run, you know, and don't discredit anybody's feelings, man or woman. You know, I want y'all to take something away from this podcast. You know, this, I just want y'all to be aware. I want y'all to raise awareness. I wear my purple all the time, represent domestic violence awareness. I didn't know what it was at first. I didn't know I was being abused either. You know, you think that stuff is cute, but it's not. You know, ladies, hold your friends accountable for when they doing stuff, mistreating people, because it's not okay. Gentlemen, hold your homeboys accountable, because it's not okay to put your hand on a woman either, disrespect her. You know, so I just want everybody to know, keep supporting survivors, wear your purple, you know, represent during Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Junior, I appreciate you, man. Let's see, much respect to y'all. Much love to New York from Dallas, to the islands, Grenada, all that good stuff. You know, love always, you know, one.
Thank you so much, Tommy. We'll keep in touch. All right.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
When your choice, class, and taste says luxury, visit JTS Luxury Home. With our spring into summer sale, all overstocked items must go. We stock a wide assortment of modern furniture, bedding, and home decor. The sale runs into midsummer or while stocks last. JTS Luxury Home, 467 Thomas Boylan Street, between Pitkin and East New York Avenue in Brooklyn, where opulence meets affordability.
Grenadians and Friends of Grenada, the National Democratic Congress Support Group Canada, cordially invite you to a gala event with the Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Saturday, July 1st at Bellevue Manor, 8083 Jane Street in Concord, Ontario, with cocktails from 6 p.m. and dinner at 7:30, featuring live entertainment, delegation speakers, and more. Ticket donation is $250. Proceeds go to the establishment of a party resource center in Grenada. Tickets are limited. The Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Saturday, July 1st at Bellevue Manor, 8083 Jane Street in Concord. For tickets and information, please call 647-859-4142 or 647-242-9256.
Co-op Bank introduces e-payments, our new e-banking feature that allows you to send wire transfers on the go to anywhere in the world. E-payments, the swift, simple, and secure way of transferring money.
LMG Committee presents a classical and royal night, Little Mr. and Miss Grenada 2023, taking place on Saturday, May 27 at the Grenada Trade Center. 7 princesses and 5 princes will grace the stage. Starting time 6 p.m. sharp. Tickets, adults 30, children 20. Music by DJ Blackstorm. Special guests and parents by local acts and full-time Grenada groovy Monarch Dash.
Put your glasses up to the sky. If you feel too tired, you could cry. Everybody have the tough time. Sometime all it takes is one line.
Come out and support our future stars. It will be a night of splendor to remember. So get your tickets early at the Grenada Trade Center, Grenadian Optical on Melville Street and in the Spiceland Mall, BG's Restaurant and Bar, Pineapple Marketing and Communication in St. Andrew, and Shi's Bar in Victoria. Or call us on telephone number 425-0624-403-0411 or 416-3881. The night will be fine like wine. So, see you there.